Polkadot Decoded 2024 has now concluded, and there was a wealth of information that was released during the course of those 2 days. So much information, however, it would be almost impossible for us to cover every single little detail. But what I want to do over the coming days is actually look at some of the key speakers and speeches that were given in regards to Polkadot, where it's currently at, what it's currently achieved, and where it's going. And I think one of the best talks from Polkadot Decoded was one of the opening talks from Bjorn Wagner, who is the CEO, I believe, at Parity. Now, this was a fantastic talk because it really talks about Polkadot's past, present, and future. We start things off, or the talk starts off, and we're going to be playing the clips in this order, of Bjorn talking about some of the achievements that Polkadot has made over the last year, plus since the last Decoded. Then he moves on to some things that are in the works, such as Agile Core Time, which of course is a big one, which is going to see the walls be broken down that parachains currently have in place in regards to the slot auctions, and the kind of nimbling up of Polkadot and its resources, making it a more inclusive ecosystem to onboard builders and users. So he talks about some of the technological advancements that are going up, and I think the last but certainly not least thing that I want to cover is, of course, the app that is currently being built that's going to see things like Polkadot Pay, that's going to really simplify the entire user experience and make it really easy for Polkadot to sort of integrate with the real world. That's the last thing that we're going to be looking at. There was a number of other things that were covered during his speech, but these are sort of 3 key takeaways that I thought I'd share with you Polkadot fans out there here on YouTube. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into clip number 1 of Bjorn talking about some of the achievements that Polkadot has made since the last Decoded.
Since our last Decoded event in summer 23, Parity as a company has redefined itself, somewhat by stepping back, but mainly by allowing emerging ecosystem agents to take on leadership roles across various areas of contributions to Polkadot, where previously Parity has held the torch. At the same time, the Polkadot network has undergone a significant transformation as well, from a technical perspective, from a builder perspective, as well as from a community and governance point of view. So let me start with a brief community recap of the last year. In the past 12 months, more transactions have been executed on and secured by Polkadot than in all the previous preceding 3 years combined. Also, since October last year, the staking rate on Polkadot has increased once again. Now, that leads us to 850 million DOT, which, is what? 850 times $6? Quite a lot of economic security that secures the integrity of the Polkadot ecosystem, the Polkadot network today. Further, OpenGov, the transparent open governance system that controls the Polkadot network and helps it evolve, is barely 1 year old now. Upon its launch last year, it became the largest and most sophisticated DAO out there. And since it went live, it has seen significant growth. And I brought you a couple of metrics that I think are worth watching. So since October last year, the number of monthly active referenda has doubled to more than 100 active proposals last month open alone. The voter participation has increased by 40% to 23,000 in the first half of this year. The average voting power has increased by a staggering 245% to almost 5 billion DOT being voted with on a monthly basis. And, given the debate in the last few weeks, we know there's still a lot to be done, right, to improve the effectiveness and the efficiency of Polkadot governance, and particularly its treasury functions. One thing that I believe will help with it is the Polkadot Community Foundation that's being formed imminently. Previously, the Treasury was limited to only provide pre- or post-funding to its proposers. Now, with this new Polkadot Community Foundation, the Treasury will be able to enter into legal agreements with counterparties and hold these counterparties legally accountable towards their promises. I do hope this will make a meaningful mark on how effective we as a community can be with the spending that we decide on. Now, further, the Polkadot Forum, many of you will be aware of that, I believe is really a central place for our community to collaborate, to discuss, collaborate. And it has seen significantly higher and more consistent activity since last October too. Starting from there, engagement has essentially tripled across all meaningful metrics, and page views have doubled to an average of 100,000 monthly reviews. I think that this surge of activity and engagement gives me quite a lot of confidence in the bright future of our ecosystem, but it doesn't stop here. Behind me, you will see a list of just some of the teams which have been founded or significantly expanded just in the last year to drive Polkadot's success, and basically to complement what Parity has done in the past. The Polkadot and Treasury and the Web3 Foundation's Decentralized Future program that many of you probably have heard of have provided the necessary springboard for these ventures.
It's very interesting that we've seen the same number of transactions take place in the last year that we have the 3 years prior. You know, this is absolutely huge. So we're seeing a huge uptick in regards to usage. We're also seeing a huge uptick in regards to socially how Polkadot is gaining traction, also with things like OpenGov and, of course, the Polkadot Forum. So lots of milestones being achieved. We're seeing lots of sort of new entities being formed to actually help develop Polkadot, and it's the developers that are ultimately going to drive value. If you look at the people that brought the billions now of users to the internet, it was the people that developed the applications that we all now use and love. Let's now dive over to Bjorn talking about some of the sort of tech side of things, some of the achievements that have been made and the achievements that are going to be coming.
Let's start with Agile Core Time. Previously on Polkadot, builders had to acquire a dedicated Polkadot core for anything between 3 months to 2 years via the Parachain lease auction system. Particularly for early stage teams, this wasn't quite flexible enough. Those teams that basically just had gotten started didn't really need an entire core, yet they had to pay for it because there was nothing else on offer. Now, Agile Core Time changes this and makes Polkadot, in some sense, much more akin to what you're used from a modern cloud offering. So what do we have with Agile Core Time? The main resource Polkadot provides to its builders is Core Time. This resource you can use, right? Like to secure your chain, to finalize, to let it speak to all the other parachains in the ecosystem and beyond. Now, Core Time can be acquired in 3 ways going forward. It can be purchased in advance and automatically renewed to prevent material changes in your operating expenses. That's in the sense of bulk Core Time, right? Really keen to like acquiring in a cloud environment a dedicated instance. This is quite special because it gives you the ability to do robust financial planning and is very unique to Polkadot. The second way is via on-demand Core Time. That way, Core Time can be purchased in small amounts when you need it and only when you need it, effectively removing an entry barrier that we had before. Last but not least, Core Time going forward will be able to be traded on secondary markets to allow for even better resource allocation. For that, there are 2 teams that's really worth checking out, Elastic and RegionX. Another major breakthrough that we've worked on that recently, I believe in May, went live on Polkadot is async backing. What had it done to Polkadot and for its parachains, for its constituents? Async backing has halved parachain block protection time from 12 seconds to 6 seconds and quadrupled the available computing time per block. Overall, this gained us a staggering 10-fold increase in available throughput. Another major feature we've been working on is elastic scaling. Elastic scaling is here to, in the future, allow parachains to use multiple cores, somewhat similar to how your computer at home uses multiple CPU cores for computation. Parachains with high transaction demand can scale by using multiple cores, while parachains with fewer transactions may be able to even share cores with other parachains and thereby also share the cost. This system will be dynamic and adjust on a block-by-block basis, providing the most flexible and efficient resource allocation out there. In a very first phase, right, we're looking here at the next few months, half the year, we are looking to roll out the first version of this, which will be called fixed factor scaling. And fixed factor scaling will initially allow parachains to use up to 3 Polkadot cores per parachain. Parachains using this feature will not only triple their available throughput, but they will also see their parachain block time reduced from 6 seconds to 2 seconds, further enhancing their users' experience in return. The Web3 ecosystem overall, right, has been plagued by trusted, insecure bridges for way, way, way too long. And it has cost the industry, our industry, dearly. These type of bridges have resulted in a combined loss of, I believe, over $2 billion in crypto assets across the blockchain industry. Now, thankfully, this time is over now. After many years of very hard work by many players in our ecosystem, trustless bridges are finally here and only available on Polkadot. What do we have? We now have Interlay bridging anyone in Polkadot to Bitcoin securely. We do have Kusama and Polkadot bridged in a trustless, fully secure way. We also, finally, after many years of hard work, Snowfork, in collaboration with us, delivered Snowfork, which is the first properly decentralized, secure, trustless ETH bridge that doesn't rely on a multi-sig or some other staked actors that provide some attestations. And last but not least, I'm incredibly excited for what another team in the Polkadot ecosystem is trying to bring forward in the coming months. Hyperbridge. Hyperbridge is a crypto economic coprocessor that is poised to provide the first secure bridges to and between many other blockchains out there.
So Agile Core Time is something that I'm sure we're all very excited about. Asynchronous backing has seen a vast improvement to the Polkadot network. And of course, the last thing that was mentioned was this idea of trustless bridges. Now, this is huge, and Polkadot is one of the only technologies that is actually enabling a trustless bridge. Bridges have been a massive pain point, but no more, and Polkadot is actually pioneering this, helping to bring the broader cryptocurrency space into the Polkadot ecosystem. We're already seeing this with things like Interlay and many of the other protocols that are working on this Snow Bridge and a number of other things. Of course, we know what Pendulum are doing with Stellar Lumens, unlocking the vast liquidity that they hold in the form of stablecoins. So the last thing for us to dive into is clip number 3, which is introducing things like Polkadot Pay and a new app that is currently being developed and is likely going to roll out very soon that could fundamentally change and put Polkadot in that lead position in regards to user friendliness when it comes to onboarding into the Web3 space. Currently, it's been quite down the ranks in regards to user friendliness. This could catapult it into that leading spot. And certainly when we talk about millions of vendors being able to accept Polkadot and any Polkadot wallet being able to integrate an API that could allow their wallet to be used on a day-to-day basis for transactions, this is huge. It really unlocks a lot of doors for Polkadot, its ecosystem. And of course, the beautiful thing about this app that's being developed is it's owned by the DOT holders, just like everything in Polkadot. So let's dive into clip number 3.
I'm finally really excited to reveal a new Polkadot product we've been working on. This is a product to onboard beginners into Polkadot. A product to actually, I think, for everyone to be able to experience Polkadot. We know that crypto can be really challenging for people, and we believe this product will be the easiest way to onboard anyone you come across to Polkadot, no matter what their background. Introducing the new Polkadot app, a mobile app that was specifically created to onboard people into the Polkadot ecosystem, so designed and conceptualized from the ground up for ease of use, built for everyone. The app is super simple and secure. No seed phrases, no username or passwords. Instead, it uses Apple and Google Cloud to back up your credentials. Long, clunky wallet addresses have been a major barrier for ease of use for many users. We are solving this pain point by integrating simple to use, simple to read, simple to write usernames. We've also simplified the way to send DOT to your family and friends, as well as stablecoins such as USDT and USDC. The app will really be simple enough for the crypto uninitiated or your parents to use. Let's say you're in the backseat of a taxi, right? And you want to give, your driver gave you an amazing experience and you want to give them a tip, but they don't have the app downloaded or installed yet. No problem. Send them a link via text, WhatsApp, or email, and they'll be able to claim the tokens essentially with one click. But, what would be a Polkadot product without staking, right? It gotta be there. So we wanted everyone to be able to stake DOT to get access to staking rewards with as little as one click. And that's what you should expect from that app. But this mobile app is really more than just your common, self-custodial crypto wallets optimized for ease of use. With this Polkadot app, you will be able to pay with crypto without leaving the comfort of your self-custodial wallet. You may wonder, pay where? Well, in more than 1 million stores and websites across the US, and later this year, we are looking to launch international support starting, we'll have to see on timing, We're looking at the H2 this year, but we're looking at bringing crypto payments to over 33 countries and adding another more than 2,000 brands and millions of more stores to it. But that's not all of it. On every purchase, you will be able to get up to 20% cashback in DOT, funded by the brands you shop at. Now, this app, we're looking at launching this app in Q3 this year. The development is already underway. And we really can't wait to get this app into your hands and show your communities and get your feedback. Now, in a truly collaborative way, right, this app was a joint effort by multiple teams. There's Parity, who was driving the concept and design. Our friends at Nova Sama are building the app. And our partners at Raise will be powering payments. Excitingly, we intend for this app, right, like this new model and this new app, to be collectively owned by the Polkadot token holders. And how do we do that? Well, we intend to use the brand new Polkadot Community Foundation that is controlled, legally, controlled by the Polkadot token holders. But that's not all there is to it. Because beyond that, we are working with Raise to enable any self-custodial Polkadot wallet to be able to integrate this payment API, and you will be absolutely sure to hear more about this from us in the future.
Huge, ladies and gentlemen. Did you see some of the names that could now be accepting Polkadot? This is massive. So this is completely going to revolutionize how many things are done on Polkadot and actually make it really easy and simple to use. And I think one thing that I think people often throw against Polkadot is a staking APY. I think from somebody looking in from the outside, this is very attractive. Certainly when we talk about things like ETFs and things like that, which we'll save for another video. But we absolutely wanted to share some of the highlights for us in regards to Polkadot Decoded. This is the first of many videos that are going to do that. And we started things off with a special one in regards to Born, talking about Polkadot in general and some of the exciting things that are going on, that have gone on, and that are to come. So that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoy this content as much as I enjoyed presenting it. And on that note, I'm going to see you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you in the next.